Well, how long have you not had this stick?
I mean, since Reno.
So you've just been
phoning it, and bro, like my phone's out of storage now. Like I can't even use my phone half the time. Okay, we're about to program a DJ set live at KNKX. Isn't that what we're doing? It's programming. Isn't that what you call it? Wrapped up all the research. We're gonna have a lot to talk about for these songs. Let's go, baby. I'm very stoked too. We have absolutely nothing with us except for a page full of notes. Hopefully the guy there is impressed. All the parking lots are full once again. We got here with hella time though. We were prepared.
10 minutes.
We're switching to dope now. Yes, sir. Let's go. We found parking. We're on our way to the studio now. Okay, so a little backstory about this. We were recording in here a couple weeks ago, and the engineer for that whole session asked me and Jack if we wanted to program a DJ set for KNKX. So, of course, we said we'd love to compile together a bunch of tunes that we listen to a bunch.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, how you doing?
Right on,
Great
right
to
on.
see you.
Thanks. This band?
I don't. Who is
This
that?
is one of the finer
Tad.
grunge bands of the era.
Yeah.
Tad.
Yeah, I've never
They were
heard of
too
Tad.
ugly to be on MTV.
Oh, for real?
But there was a big important concert, one of the first concerts with local bands playing at a big theater, at the Moore Theater.
Yeah.
Called Lame Fest.
Lame
In
Fest.
1989, and it was Mudhoney headlining, Nirvana opening, and the in-between band was Tad.
Tad.
I fucking love Tad.
They were in there.
Super, super heavy.
Check them out.
Yeah.
So when did you catch on to jazz? What was that like?
I was doing drums with this guy, Mark DeFlorio, and then he moved, so I started doing School of Rock Seattle, that program for a little bit. And then I was kind of getting, not bored, but like, I wanted to like explore different genres and stuff, so I started playing trumpet because my great-grandpa led a big band on trumpet and like played on aircraft carriers and stuff, and I was like, that would be cool to check out, so I started playing trumpet. In freshman year of high school, I started on drums because they kind of needed a drummer, and then I kind of connected the drums from the rock with like now listening to jazz, and then kind of was like not super stoked about the trumpet at that point, so I kind of was ready to go off on drums.
There's this punk band from back in the 80s called the Circle Jerks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Their
some.
drummer, Lucky Lair, is one of the fucking greatest punk drummers of all time.
Yeah.
He got jazz training. That's how he's such a good drummer.
Yeah, and like guys like Mitch Mitchell, those guys are also like classic, like
yeah. Jimi Hendrix was
yeah,
jazz adjacent in my book.
Oh, 100%.
How about you, Zach? What kind of music did you grow up with around the house when you were a kid?
I think my earliest experience with music was with my grandfather.
Nice.
He's a local music luthier, Rick Fogel. I would basically just sit in his little wood shop in his backyard, and he would make hammered dulcimers and like violins. I didn't really kind of know what he was doing, but it was like cool to watch, and like he'd let me help out a little bit. So he was always listening to like the Grateful Dead, a lot of jam band stuff, like a lot of Santana, a lot of Jerry Garcia, kind of the stuff adjacent from the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
And so I kind of grew up with, again, not really a lot of jazz, more kind of like rock and blues. And then I would move to the UK when I was like 10.
Cool.
And that's when I actually started having traditional like music training. I also started on the trumpet. This is kind of ironic how similar like.
Well, looking at this playlist, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of miles.
Yeah, lots of miles. I just didn't really fall in love with it. And so I picked up drums, and eventually we moved back to the US. And so I needed to find a new music kind of teacher. So I went to the Music Factory. It's in like Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
But I met a new teacher there. His name is Jack Matson. He started me out on drums, but he's actually a guitar player. And so he kind of realized that maybe I would be better suited for like a stringed instrument. And so I started picking up guitar lessons and actually turning that into the instrument I focused on. Then through middle school at SAS, where you didn't go to middle school.
No, I joined SAS in freshman year.
Yeah. So I played in the jazz bands there on drums, though. I still never like really picked up the guitar until freshman year. There were 3 drummers in the band. It was me and him, and then the bass player from the set we did.
Oh, wow.
So he went to bass, I went to guitar, and then ever since then it's just been like jazz, rock, blues, funk, and I kind of just I like blending it all together.
Where in the UK were you?
So I was in London in a town called Wandsworth.
Okay, yeah. Are you familiar with the modern jazz scene in London that's happening right now?
No, is there like a?
It's like happening. There's a band called Ezra Collective, which is
cool.
I
know the Ezra. Okay.
Blue Lab Beats is also very kind of
Right on.
electronic keyboards and hip hop fusion. And then there's Shabaka, who is my hero. Shabaka Hutchings. He's in like 3 different bands. One of them called Sons of Kemet. Which is sax, tuba, and 2 drummers.
Okay.
There's one called The Comet is Coming, which is almost like
I've heard about The Comet.
Yeah, that's fucking wild stuff. Keyboards, drums, and wailing saxophone. Lots of effects.
No, the UK is always like on top of everything.
Yeah,
it's like
remarkable right now.
It's crazy.
Cool stuff coming out of London.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps Jack will say that was So What, Miles Davis live on 88.5 KNKX. And then I'll reintroduce you. I'll reintroduce Zach, and we'll have a little chit chat. I think the first time we'll talk Miles Davis and why this live version rather than this kind of blue version.
Yeah.
And we'll talk, that's a great opportunity to say, well, live,
The energy.
Yeah, exactly. And then I want to say, speaking of live jazz, you guys were live in our studios just recently with a great performance with Andy Coe.
Good play.
You've seen it online. We're going to direct people to go check it out on YouTube. I want to hear your reviews.
Yeah.
So if you want to say, oh man, I killed it on this one solo here, or please don't listen to this one part of this one song, however you like to say that. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about how you prepared for it, or your impressions of that studio session is kind of what we're getting at. And Zach, especially for you, we'll talk about working with Andy Coe.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's definitely like a rock guitarist, deadhead.
Got the Grateful Dead, Coe Down.
Coe Down, we're going to try and get on that bill once we're...
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
That's, his like, the Andy Coe band is so... It's very...
So we'll talk about that session, and I'll say, okay, we're going to keep the live theme going. We got an underwriter break right there. Okay. So that's the only one in the show, but it's kind of clunky. So, so I'll remind you when we get to that one. And then we got the 4-song set that ends with Santana. Zach, that's going to be you back announcing Santana.
Okay, so on a...
you'll say that was Santana with American Gypsy on 88.5 KNKX. And then we'll talk about the band you've got and getting gigs with your band. Are you going to be playing it all this summer with the quartet?
The paper cut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
As much as we can.
All right.
That was Sky Islands by Caldera on 88.5 KNKX.
Connecting you to the School of Jazz. That's Jack Matson. He's a drummer, just graduated from the Seattle Academy. He's joined by his buddy, also a recent graduate Seattle Academy, guitarist Zach Fringer. They were in our studios just recently. You got to check out that studio session. It was just so much fun. Great band. But let's talk about Sky Islands. And how did you discover that song, Jack? Yeah. And Zach, a guitarist, that instrument of fusion jazz, really, it really was marked a change in the music back in the 60s.
Right. I mean, you can hear guitar in pretty much everywhere you go. I think there's so many new players now. I feel like it's way more accessible. It's a great thing.
Look into that guy.
Who's Lionel?
Is he
Lionel Loeke?
Lionel Loeke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lionel Loeke. Oh my God, how do you pronounce that?
Lionel Loeke.
Lionel Loeke is a Lionel.
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 Like Lionel, but with a
Yeah.
funky
Lionel.
West African pronunciation.
Lionel
Loeke.
Loeke has a really unique sound. You can hear his fingers when he plays. It adds a whole bunch of acoustics and a whole new depth to the instrument. It really kind of shows how much the guitar can be utilized in ways you might not think.
You go photograph
Awesome.
and set you up with.
Wrapped up, successful recording at KNKX. Great studio, great company. Shout out Abe Beeson. Bang.